Welcome back. It's Miggy and Mar on. I forget what we call this. We'll call it like the NFT podcast for now. We'll have a better name soon enough. So I'm not really an expert on NFTs. I think Miggy is an expert on NFTs. So really, I'm going to just be asking him questions and we'll see what he can answer. So you mentioned this last time we spoke. I don't know if it was on the podcast or right before. I actually had no idea what you were talking about. And then a day later, I saw a bunch of news articles about what you were talking about. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what Miggy was saying. You were talking about Stardust. And I just saw an article that Stardust raised $5 million for developing NFTs. And they're basically going to make it easier to incorporate NFTs into like video games. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
I do know that about the dust with the Nifty Wizards. I'm not sure if that's that it's possible that that may be related. I know there's a couple different things out there, but the Nifty Wizards created their own crypto called Dust, and they've been using it for a Telegram game, for different applications. They just entered the Ethereum space, and so you're able to Dust chat. Do some dust chat mining where you can engage in these groups on Telegram and now Discord, and you're able to get rewarded by engaging in conversation. So every time you talk, you get rewarded with dust coin, and they're applying that to like all kinds of stuff as far as like gaming space and NFTs are concerned.
That's awesome. So that actually is different than what I was talking about. It sounded similar, but Stardust is going to be on the Terra platform, the Terra wallet, and
okay.
From what I read, it's going to be an easier way for like normal video games to kind of incorporate NFTs into their game. So kind of what I'm understanding, and I could be completely wrong, is like eventually pretty soon they'll have NFTs in Fortnite and you'll be able to buy an NFT in Fortnite. They don't have that already, right?
Oh, I mean, they have the structure for it because, you know, we see the skins, for example,
right,
and they have the V-Bucks. So they're basically set up to do stuff with NFTs, you know, for like Fortnite, for example. All they have to do is basically take those assets, NFT them, and then now they're able to trade them. You can buy and sell skins, you know, all kinds of cool stuff. So I think that's definitely going to be a major application for games for sure.
So I believe that's where this company I'm talking about, Stardust, is coming in. Is they're gonna make it, I guess, easier for Fortnite to like get that process kind of done. I guess we'll see how that works, but I feel like that is going to be good for the whole NFT space because people won't even have an option of getting involved. It'll be going into their everyday life, and they'll just kind of have to use NFTs.
Oh, absolutely.
Which makes me think, though, you were just mentioning some use cases of NFTs. Where are some other use cases you kind of see that people might typically not think of right away? Because most people just think of like, oh, it's copy and paste some art on the internet. That's an NFT, but there's a lot more utility than that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're seeing a lot of it, especially within the gaming space. I think that's going to be probably some of the biggest application for it because it'll be the easiest for people to understand and get involved. I think, you know, we'll see other things. Just like personally, there's a few different projects that I'm involved in that are planning on incorporating the NFT space to help, you know, in different community projects in different ways. Like, for example, there's one company that I've been talking with. Basically, what they want to do is incorporate NFTs and cryptocurrency into a system that is able to reward or pay, I guess, people who are on the autistic spectrum. So it involves, you know, a pretty extensive program, but the basics of it would be that you could train and teach, you know, those people on the spectrum, make them trainable as well, kind of utilize what they're good at, what skills that they do have, and then use systems in place, like, let's say, a trash sorting system that can be made to be automated and linked, you know, to crypto or NFTs. So that way you could teach somebody who is autistic to, let's say, throw this trash away using the system, and they get rewarded with an NFT and cryptocurrency. And so basically you found a way to employ people who normally wouldn't be able to be employed because, you know, the things that are associated with people being autistic, that there's various levels of it, and some of them can't be in public settings. You know, some of them are very difficult to employ because, you know, they are very specific with the type of things that they can do, the type of training. And so having NFTs in a system to where you can automate things, to where you can create less human interaction, which, you know, in some cases may seem bad, but in these types of situations where you can involve also, I think we spoke before about therapy, put people in a setting to where you can treat them and help them, but put them in a space that is completely digital in a metaverse, and then also incorporate NFTs as a way to incentivize them and reward them for using these systems, so that way they can generate some type of income or some type of product that they need. So that's just, you know, like one example of like a way that we could use that in something outside of, you know, just NFT art and collectability or games. I know Domino's has signed up or announced that they'll be using NFTs as well. So even in a system of like tracking inventory, NFTs are perfect for that. You know, that you could autonomously track your inventory almost to complete perfection and never have to worry about, you know, much loss of a product, because everything is recorded on the blockchain. And so you know exactly where and when things are happening. So there's a lot of stuff that can be done with it. It's pretty crazy.
What was the name of the program with autistic people that you're working on or you're familiar with?
The company that they work with is called Lace Nexus, LACE Nexus. Their actual company, I'm not really sure what the name is. I know that they're working with a few different programs, but they work with this company called Lace Nexus.
Apart from my dog.
But yeah, I don't know their actual name of the company that they're going to be using, because the person that I spoke to he's the actual CEO of the business that he's created, and he's been like working on this for 10 years because he has a son who's autistic, and his son is autistic as well. And so they created, you know, trying to create something for the past 10 years to where now with NFTs emerging, they found a way to kind of bring, you know, what they were doing into the cryptocurrency space, utilizing NFTs. So it's been something that they've been doing for a while, but I'm not sure of the actual company name that he's promoting with it.
Nice. Well, that's really cool. I'm definitely going to check out Lace Nexus. I already pulled up their page. Definitely looks interesting. So something else, you kind of mentioned the most common use cases of NFTs. I feel like gaming, digital art are kind of like the first aspects that people are seeing them in. I just pulled up a couple other ones, and we'll see. I guess I'm gonna like read a little explanation. Maybe you can explain, if it's not self-explainable, what like that necessarily would mean. So we said digital art already. That's where we would tokenize real-world artwork to promote authenticity, offer ownership to the artist. I think my favorite part with that digital art is being able to build into the code that the original artist can get a percentage of any resale for perpetuity. A lot of time artists don't really get paid the first time they sell art. They don't get famous until later. Then I might have Miggy's art, sell it for $1 million. Miggy doesn't get anything. With NFTs, you can build into the code that every resale, you're gonna get 10%, which I think is awesome. So that's in the digital art. Another aspect we might see it, or I think we probably already are seeing it a little, in fashion. You might have an NFT incorporated with a high luxury item like a Gucci bag or whatever, where the NFT will just help with verify ownership. You'll know who owns something before you, after you, and you'll make sure that it's not counterfeit. Also tokenizing licenses and certifications. So I guess that's probably something that's going to get more common. I feel like college education is going to become less common, and it's going to be more about like having certifications, and those certifications could come in NFTs so that they're not counterfeited as well. Collectibles, we've just been mentioning, that's kind of similar to the digital art, I feel. Sports, offering tokenized sport game tickets issued on the blockchain. Again, you can have different like unique NFTs for the tickets, so not everyone has the same ticket, I think would be cool. And then also, again, helps prevent counterfeit. This is one that I think is interesting. I'm not sure I understand too well, but I think I might get. It says NFTs are going to offer crypto addresses as NFTs, where users can buy and sell your Ethereum name service. I'm not sure exactly what
Okay.
that.
That's I mean, are you familiar with like the .eth addresses?
Mhm.
So it's similar, just pretty much to that, from what I'm assuming, is that like you know how you can buy a .eth and it can be, you know, Miggy.eth, and that's not
Mhm.
only a website, but it's also a wallet address. Well, they also have those now where you can buy, I believe, .nfts. So
Got
it
it.
could be Miggy.nft. So not only would it be my website and my, you know, access to my information, but you could literally just send an NFT to that address and I'll be able to receive it. And I think,
I
and those domains, you know, will be able to be buy, you know, you'll be able to buy and sell those.
I think that's going to help a lot of the utility because people see like 26 letter addresses and they're like, I'm not going to remember that, or where am I going to write that down? If you have just Miggy.nft, I feel like it's a lot easier to remember, to send it. So that might help use case. I like that. And then one of the last ones, probably the one I'm most excited for, is like the metaverse. I feel like all of this really is the metaverse, but NFTs are going to be huge for the metaverse because that's what's going to show scarcity in the metaverse. And
Right.
just like a little side example, I just heard of a Rolex that in the real world, the Rolex is $90,000, but the Rolex makes like probably hundreds of those $90,000 watches. Someone recreated the Rolex in one of the metaverses, and the metaverse Rolex sold for $140,000. So
Wow.
$50,000 more than a real one, just because it's the only Rolex in the metaverse. So when you have that
Yeah,
scarcity, it's worth a lot more. Pretty cool.
that's awesome. I think I heard about that. That is pretty crazy.
Man, it's nuts. And then something else I don't really understand too much, and I don't have it pulled up, so this might not make the most sense. But someone was saying how like you might be able to incorporate NFTs, similar to actually like that program for autistic people that you were mentioning, where it will be a reward system for people to kind of like fix things that need to be fixed. So,
Mm,
and I don't exactly understand how this works. Maybe I'll do some more research, try and explain it next time. But if there's a broken road, there's like a pothole, it'll basically, I don't know where this would be populated, but there'd be somewhere populated on the internet that'll say that this pothole is broken, and you can basically, Miggy can sign up to fix it. And if Miggy fixes it, he basically gets like the NFT incorporated with that to get like the reward. So instead of
that's cool.
relying on the government to do everything, which they haven't been doing too much lately,
Right.
it'll get people to kind of like fix things for themselves and reward them for it. So there's like some incentive to do it.
That's cool. That reminds me of Domino's. Remember
Yeah.
how they were fixing the potholes and stuff?
Yep. When
And
you
I mean, it's absolutely vital because the sad thing is, like you said, the government is not fulfilling these needs to which our taxes are paying for. You know,
right.
we have a desperate need, just for example, to fix infrastructure. One
Yep.
thing on that list of many things, but for one thing, infrastructure is major. I just saw this thing on bridges in the United States, and the desperate need to actually redo a lot of these bridge infrastructures, and not only redo them to maintain them, but redo them in the future for sustainability. You
Oh,
know, we're
definitely.
talking about bridges, things that we got, you know, this is a very dangerous thing to not be
Oh,
taken care of.
definitely. There's a bridge in Philly actually that last year they had to start fixing it because they're like it's like months away from crippling and like falling down.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just ignore this because it's gonna cause people to die. Um,
Exactly. And these are things that, you know, our government is supposed to be on top of, because again, our taxes are paying for this. So when you couple that with those two ideas, then, you know, you see a major flaw in this taxation system, that a lot of money is being misused or misappropriated, or just nobody knows what's even happening to it. So I
yeah.
imagine something like that is very similar to what they do on GitHub, where
Hmm.
like people can open source their programming things for website development, and everybody who participates in helping to create this website or this platform gets rewarded, you know, by participating on GitHub. And, you know, you can have a track record of, okay, here's this person's profile. They've participated in all these different projects helping them on coding, and and they get rewarded for doing that. And so you could have the similar profile to be like, hey, here's this person who is literally going out fixing roads, and you see his name on this site, and there's these different roads that this person has helped fix, and they've been rewarded by getting these NFTs. So I think that's definitely a very necessary application, because it helps it just helps incentivize communities to be more engaging. And it's just another form and another way to operate without the government. And we're seeing more of this with NFTs and cryptocurrency, that the whole idea between the blockchain is that we can do things without these government entities, and we're starting to really believe that ourselves now.
Yep, I definitely agree. I like it. I'm excited for what the future is going to bring. I think that wraps up about time for Miggy and Mar show. If anyone's listening and you have something you want to hear about or learn about, mention it to us and we'll try and talk about it. Also want to have some guests. Sean Haber talking to you. Ken talking to you. Russell Corris talking to you. Want to hear about the exchanges, all the NFT projects you guys are doing? Let us know. We'd love to have you. Any last comments, Miggy?
Just everybody that's in this space, it'll do you right to just get the lulls and the bear markets, stick through it, because this first year is going to be very vital. And if you could just make it, if you're an artist, a creator, a collector, just stay in this space, support your community, and I promise next year you will be heavily rewarded by doing so.
I definitely agree, and I'd follow the advice of Miggy and follow the advice of Miggy's sweatshirt. Strike first, strike hard, show no mercy.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
High. You know it.
All right, awesome job. Thank you. Love you guys. Talk to you next week.